Shu, ye that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say to the Church of Philadelphia. Kabbalistically, the Church of Philadelphia represents the third eye chakra. All of those 7 churches of Asia represent a particular energy center within yourself. Philadelphia is the third eye, and there is a connection between the city of Philadelphia and the Church of Philadelphia. When I say ye that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say to the Church of Philadelphia, that can also translate as ye that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say to the third eye. You already know. Good thanks. Thanks for tuning in. This is part 2 to Rastafari, Flat Earth, and Zion. And this is called the Green Light Special. Now, in the first segment of this, I explained how Dr. Malachi Ziion had an order called the Sons and Daughters of the Green Light. See? And this was a teaching of Malachi Ziion, or whichever one of his attributes you would like to call him, because he had many different names and attributes. But I give thanks for this brother, and I also give thanks because I had an opportunity to absorb the teachings of a lot of different teachers and grandmasters and things like that. Because of me working in a bookstore as a youngin', I had the chance to absorb a lot of different information, and I used to, communicate with people coming from multiple different schools of thought. And so it was a training for me to be able to be universal. Working in a bookstore, you have many different categories of books. You have romance books, you have books on self-help, you have books on astrology, you have books on cooking, you have books on, you have fictional books, you have gangster fiction, like True to the Game, the gangster books. You have, history books. So working in a bookstore, as a youngin', it helped me, be universal with my approach to people, not just the customers, but people, because I got a chance to see how people came from multiple different levels, because, everybody's interested in different things. Some people are deep into history. Some people are deep into, new age type books. Some people are deep into whatever, So, I get thanks for that opportunity to work at these different bookstores. Horizon Books in the Gallery, 9th and Market. That's where a lot of you might know me from. Also, I worked at Sunrise Books in Cheltenham Mall, Primetime Books, in the Horizon Book Cart that used to be in Cheltenham Mall. And I worked with Black and Nobel for a little time. And I get thanks for the chance to be in that environment, because as a youngin', being in that environment, people came to me seeking to know. Bookstores kind of draw seekers, because this was a time before YouTube, seen, and before YouTube, people came to bookstores to purchase DVDs from multiple different teachers, and I had a chance to be exposed to a lot of different teachers John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, um, Dr. Barashango, um, uh, A.A. Rashidi, uh, the whole House of Consciousness community, and all those brothers, because the list goes on and on, you know. So before YouTube, you had the House of Consciousness, and people would come to the store to purchase the House of Consciousness and other different, you know, lectures that we collected through the years from multiple different teachers, you know. So it was a center for information at that time, where a lot of this information is very accessible to you with the touch of your fingertips, which is good. This is part of the Aquarian thing that they was talking about before 2012. And you know, before 2012, everybody was talking about what was supposed to happen at 2012 and after. So before 2012, everybody was on the consciousness shift and the Mayan calendar and all these good things. Now, before Hidden Colors, because there was a shift in consciousness. I get thanks for Hidden Colors because that particular documentary woke a lot of the people up, seen, and a lot of people became awake, or I wouldn't say awakened, but a lot of people snapped out of a zombie state when they seen Hidden Colors. So, but before Hidden Colors, you know, people who were into, you know, the book world, whatever, you know, you had brother Phil Valentine and what's his name? Uh, Delbert Blair. See, Delbert Blair was another brother coming from the extraterrestrial community, seeing that talked about the black sun. So that's when I adopted that attribute or name, Black Sun, from Delbert Blair. This was way before some flat earth community even existed, you know. So I'm not riding a bandwagon. My name's Ben Black Sun. Soon as I heard Delbert Blair talk about the black sun or the sun being black, or, you know, I'm gonna get into that later. You know, I kind of adopted that, you know. So that was my Yamasee name, my Native American name, if you want to call them the Native Americans, Black Sun Featherheart, because my heart is light as a feather. See? So the green light special. I had to give you a little backdrop before I even got into, you know, the science on this one, where I was coming from, who I am. You know, none of that really matters, but I had to express that with you. So the green light, excuse the lady in the background. Anyway, the green light is your heart chakra. The heart chakra is in the center of all your other chakras. Now, we can argue over how many different chakras we actually have. Some say 12, some say 13, some say 22, and all this extra. From my awareness, we have 360 chakras. But but the center, where, you know, our body is, going up your endocrine system, you have 7 chakras, starting from, you know, your root to your crown. So those 7 chakras aren't your only chakras, but those are the chakras we start start out with, in the first degrees scene. So, I give thanks to Brother Bobby Hemmett, because Bobby Hemmett is um, one of my, I wouldn't say favorite teachers, but one who inspired me a lot in my younger days. Because I used to have a ton of Bobby Hemmett DVDs, and I would watch those DVDs, and I almost went crazy listening to Bobby Hemmett and Delbert Blair and all these other people, you know what I mean? Because I had so much access to this, I would go crazy and try to overdose off of information. But Bobby Hemmett was special to me because he helped me realize that I wasn't crazy. So a few years back, he he made a documentary, or I mean not a doc, a DVD called Agnatar in the Ninth Dimension. And actually it was called Agnatar the Ethiopian from the Ninth Dimension. And it had a picture of this like Ethiopian angel on the front of the DVD. So that just grabbed my attention. I'm like, wow, I gotta watch that. And it was like 4 DVDs in there. You know what I mean? Because Bobby Hemmett can get pretty long-winded, But so I watched Agnatar from the Ninth Dimension, and I noticed that in other previous lectures of his, he would mention Agnatar from Ethiopia, you know. And I like how, even from a non-Rasta mind, I guess that was the wrong word. I wouldn't say a non-Rasta mind, but coming from someone who's not, representing Rastafari like a Rasta would, I like how he made that connection between Agnatar and Rastafari, and from there I realized that way back in the day, Bobby Hemmett did a whole lecture on Rastafari, and it was coming from a very outside of the box type of perspective where, if you haven't been traveling for some time, it would just sound real spooky or crazy to you, but in 2018 people are more open and acceptable to a lot of this information at this time, because nobody wanted to hear what I was talking about back then. Everyone thought Rastaman was crazy. But now the things have been revealed, and even I had a chance to put the pieces of Asar or the puzzle together. I get thanks. So the green light, you already know, is the heart. And green is actually in the center of the, visible light scale. So green is the middle path. Just take time to get thanks. And I might have lost a lot of you on this one, and they probably trying to figure out where Rastaman is going with this. But I ask you to travel with me, because I have to break this down in segments so that we can totally get to the root of what's going on. You already know.